Don't worry, I'm not going to sing it to you. You'd all be running for the hills if I did. But, we sing, you alone are worthy. You alone are worthy. He is worthy. And I just had this sense this morning that he was singing over us, that you are worthy. I am worthy in his sight. You are worthy in his sight. He rejoices over us. And he is the one who's above everyone and everything. He is the one who's really merciful. He's wonderful. He's abiding. He doesn't just go like we can with any whim. He doesn't take offense. He's always there. And he is never asleep or never kind of dismissive of us. Any of these things. He's unchanging. There is no one like you. You alone are God. There is nobody like him. Nobody like him. He is the only true God. He is the only wise God. He's the all-knowing God. And he is our all in all. Isn't that wonderful? So, so encouraging to find that, God knows where we're at. He knows exactly where we are. But he never, ever wants to leave us there. He always wants to bring us up, bring us closer to him. So it's so important for us to be really secure in his promise. And I just want to read from the Old Testament. Now just bear in mind that this is the Old Testament. And in Deuteronomy 7, in verse 15, lots of bits of paper here. Well, we'll read it from verse 11. Therefore you shall keep the commandment, the statutes, the judgments, which I command you today, to observe them. Then it shall come to pass, because you listen to these judgments, and keep and do them, that the Lord your God will keep with you the covenant and the mercy which he swore to your fathers. And he will love you and bless you and multiply you. He will also bless the fruit of your womb and the fruit of your land, your grain, your new wine, and your oil, the increase of your cattle, the offspring of your flock, in the land of which he swore to your fathers to give you. You shall be blessed above all people. There shall not be a male or female barren among you, or among your livestock. And the Lord will take away from you all sickness, and will afflict you with none of the terrible diseases of Egypt, which you have known, but will lay them on all those who hate you. And it goes on. But the blessing of obedience in that old covenant is all in a new covenant and a whole lot more. So, just if you do nothing this week but just meditate on these words, it ties in beautifully with, remember we were praying about the things that we were still waiting. We had been praying for, and we were still waiting for them to come to pass at our last family service. We shall put it around there. And there's lots of wonderful things there. Salvation for my parents and children walking in perfect health, families saved, healed, delivered, for my dad who's to be saved, the field, a place to glorify God, waiting this is all they're waiting for is yes. United body across Tain, debts paid, the lender do not borrow, the head is not the tail, the land for God's people to grow and provide for Tain and for Scotland and the nations beyond, the livestock, the plants, the bees, the infrastructure, the multiplication required to provide beyond all that we could ask for, awakening in Scotland, revival. These are the things we wrote down because we're waiting for the manifestation of that. And you read that in the Old Covenant, and I don't know about you, but I get really excited because this was written a month ago. And you just think, we're waiting for these things. So what do? We've prayed for them, we're waiting for them. We need to continue in prayer, being thankful and being secure in the knowledge of his promises for us. And they're so clear there in that chapter in Deuteronomy. That, as long as we focus on him, we stay obedient to him, the blessings flow. And we will see all of this in his perfect timing. His perfect timing. It's so, so wonderful that he just brings everything together, doesn't he? He doesn't do anything half-hearted. It's done lovingly, firmly, and cohesively, and just, it's the best that we could have. So we just need to stay in that place of his presence and be prayerful. Just being prayerful. He answers all our prayers because of two things. We qualify through faith in his promises and his righteousness. And he is holy, therefore he keeps his word. He keeps his word. So whenever you have a desire or a prophetic word, you always go back to the written word. And it is always in line with his written word. Because as we delight in him, he gives us the desires of our hearts. But we need to delight in him for that to happen. And as we delight in him, the desires in our hearts change. So we can come into the fullness of everything that he has for us. So I just want you to just carry on really thanking him for all the things that we're still waiting for. And I want to add our building to that, because we're still waiting for the manifestation of this to happen. So, but we're getting closer, but we need to pray for that building, that we will have no more hindrances, because the devil's getting in the way, using different things, different strategies to just slow things down. But we're waiting, and we're waiting patiently, and we're waiting well, because we know, because he said, and we believe his promise, and we're standing believing on that promise. So I'm just going to leave it there. We'll next week we've got Judith with us, but the following week I'll talk about the rest of what I have here from the Word on prayer, because I think it's important that we have that. But it was just wonderful this morning to be just in his presence and just him just moving among us, because this is not a one-man band. We are his church, and we do things in his order, because it is his. So just be blessed as you go into the following days of this week, and just enjoy the seasonal holidays for some, maybe not for all, but for some. So we're just finishing song.